just wants to, that's his favorite course. And, maybe if they pair him with Justin Thomas, his good buddy, they played yesterday, then maybe he has that moment where he gets to come back from this. And maybe, I'm sure his goals are bigger than that. But just to be able to tee it up, because I thought maybe if you said he's going to the Masters this year, I would think he'd be part of the ceremonial first tee. Like he would just have a tee shot, and that would be it. He'd be out there with Jack Nicklaus, go to the dinner, maybe play a little bit in the par 3, and that'd be it. And I would be satisfied with that. But now, he's Tiger. He's going to try to play it, see. Yes, he will.
I wonder how satisfying it is, though, just for him to get out there and play around with his son, rather than is the Masters the most important thing, or was getting out there with his kid the more important thing? I wonder where that motivation.
I don't know, but if he can play with his son at the par 3 at Augusta, that's another one of those. You're doing it with your son, and I think that's big too. But to go out there then, on Thursday and start playing and play for real, that's different. But you could see a different joy with Tiger when he was playing with his son in that made for TV event. It was fun to watch him watch his son. Yeah.
Maybe they let Tiger and his son play a little two-man scramble, and his son could do the teeing off, the big shots, and Tiger could bring it home. Is there any chance, you mentioned Alex Smith, I didn't think about it until you said it. I don't want to speculate, but is there any chance Aaron says, I'm going to go back and play around the best I can at the Masters and call it? He's only 46, or he's 46.
He's an old 46.
Right. Is there any chance Monday morning he said, that's good. Just wanted to get on hallowed ground one more time.
I have no idea. I mean, he's a Rubik's Cube trying to figure him out. His back, his knee, now his leg. You're just like, what's left? What do you want? And maybe it's just to show, hey, no matter what the obstacle was. Remember when we thought, he may play in Augusta. We had a caller saying, I'm going to guarantee he wins the Masters. We're like, you're crazy. So every time you go, well, Tiger can't do that. He can't hit that shot. He can't come from behind and win.
He's so competitive, though. Unless he's in unbearable pain after the first round, if he has instinctuation where he thinks he can somehow make the cut, it would be hard to believe that he wouldn't continue unless it was just so physically unbearable that he couldn't continue for a few more days.
Thank you, Tom. Augusta National Golf Club, one of golf's greatest stages, hosts the world's best amateurs. Augusta National, the women's amateur, Saturday at noon Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Go to peacocktv.com. Sign up. Now, I always marvel when you look at careers. The first half of Tiger's career is as good as anybody who's ever played the sport. But as much as I marvel about his first 10 years, let's say, he went almost 10 years without winning a major. So if I said, hey, what's more, not impressive, but what stands out, what's more shocking? It wouldn't be the first 10 years. It'd be the next 10 years where you go, he hadn't won a major. Because we thought it was a foregone conclusion. He's going to pass Jack for the all-time record for major. He'll blow by 18. And then I started looking at Albert Pujols' numbers. First 10 years, it's unbelievable. He's a Hall of Famer after 10 years. 3 MVPs, won 2 World Series titles. The numbers are incredible. One of the great right-handed hitters of all time. And then it was the next 10 years where you go, he didn't do anything. He was like a little better than an average player. So if you said, what's more surprising, the first 10 or the second 10? With Albert Pujols, I'd probably say the first 10 because we didn't know anything about him. I think he was a 13th round draft pick. We didn't know anything about him. And then when we did know everything about him, he goes to the Angels. It doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Yet in his first 10 years with the Cardinals, his batting average was .328 and 445 home runs. That'll get you right in the Hall of Fame. His second 10 years, all of Los Angeles, he had .256 and 222 home runs.
Well, you also think of Ken Griffey Jr. Because Ken Griffey Jr. had this unbelievable start to his career. Now, he had injuries. He was the face of the sport. he had him as, presidential candidate. They were promoting him that way. Then he goes to Cincinnati. The injuries caught up to him. You had two different careers. Albert Pujols, two different careers. Tigers had three different careers. Imagine if Tom Brady won all of his Super Bowls in the first 11 years of his career. And then went 10 years without nothing. That was sort of what Tiger did. Now, Tiger did come back again to win a major. And here we are. Not done yet. Yeah.
Ken Griffey's very similar. In Seattle, his first 13 years, he had 300 with 417 home runs, which is, believe it or not, way less than Pujols. And in Cincinnati, he was a nice player. He had 270 and 210 homers.
Nice.
Yeah, 3 All-Star appearances.
Yeah. Got to play with his father. They both hit home runs in the same game. But yeah, Tiger and Augusta. I mean, it's must-see TV anyway. But that Thursday, and we throw tomorrow. I just want to see, is he playing in the par 3? Is he going to play in that? How cool would it be to have Tiger and Jack with a ceremonial first tee? And Garrett Clarett's still alive. You don't have Arnie anymore. Yeah, see.
What do you think is more likely to keep Tiger out, though? His physical ability or his level of play? Like not being able to play up to his standards?
I think those are attached.
They're intertwined.
Yeah, absolutely. But I can't imagine that he would put himself out there that he could be embarrassed. Where, he might have a 7 on a par 3 or something. Not that hasn't happened to a great player. I just, even when we go out and shoot on the court, and if I miss like 3 shots in a row, like I'm embarrassed. But that hasn't happened. Yeah, not yet. No, it did happen one time. Remember my mom called in and I missed 3 shots and she said, Danny, what's wrong? And I said, what do you mean? She goes, you missed 3 shots in a row. And I go, yeah. Man. And she was right. Like and that's just my little world. Tiger's doing this for the world, the real world, where they're going to be watching it. And you don't want to, the sport will humble you.
You're gonna hop in the shower
The
quick,
sports,
bud.
golf humbles you.
Okay.
Because there are
Get
days
some
where you
food
go, I
together.
don't even know how to
Got it?
play.
Yeah.
And then you'll play and you go, what am I doing? I'm playing great. I can't miss. I'm going on the Corn Ferry Tour. Ready to go? But I love that when you go through rehab, anybody who's gone through it, Lord knows our audience has gone through or going through rehabbing an injury. You want to have a goal. Like, what's the goal? And when I went through all my health issues for 8 years, my goal was, can I just play 18 holes of golf and, not be in pain, in misery? That was it. I just wanted to play. Could I walk? Could I, climb steps? Like, simple things where you go, that's my goal. My goal was to play 18 holes. And I kept having that goal. I couldn't even swing a club for years. But, you just have to do this. Anybody who's going through something now, you're like, my goal is to. At least it should be. Because that helps you through it. If not, you just sit in your dark world and you're like, is this ever going to end? Am I ever going to feel better? But when you start to make progress, and then you realize that you might reach your goal. First time I played golf, I played horrible. I hadn't played in 8 years. I hadn't played, but damn, it felt great. It was like, this is awesome. But I'm spraying the ball out of bounds in the water, and then, I'm playing with my friends, and they're like, you seem okay with this. I go, yes, I get to play. Didn't think I'd ever get to play. Yeah, well,
That's what. Remember when Alex Smith found after he left Washington? You asked him, why'd you keep going and become a backup? I think he was 36 when he retired.
Yeah.
He could have played 3 more years as a backup and got the gigs. He said, no, it wasn't about continuing. It's about checking the box. I'm retiring on my own choice.
and he had to have that goal because if you watch that documentary or that piece on him, I mean, I had to turn it on. It was so. It's like in your face what he was going through and nearly losing his leg. It looked like he put his leg in a meat grinder. But in his mind, you're a competitor, you're an athlete. And I think that's what Tiger has to be thinking. It's, I got to do this. Why wouldn't I do this? I should try this. And And maybe it's more than just playing in the par 3 with his son. All right, we'll come back. We got a lot of phone calls to get to. We talked a lot about the MVP this year in the NBA. I said it was Joel Embiid's to lose, and it might be Giannis's to win, the way he's played down the stretch. And it's one of those, what have you done for me lately? And he's competing against himself. Therefore, I thought Embiid would be the story because it'd be a new story. It's hard to argue anybody is better, more valuable, both ends of the floor, than the Greek Freak. We'll take a break. Back after this in the Dan Patrick Show. Link Soul is here. I got my Link Soul on today. Got my sweatshirt on. Paulie, you flying the colors there?
Got the hoodie.
Yeah, it's nice. See?
At the top.
Yeah. Todd just has one of our t-shirts. He has the LA Chargers.
So Brandon Staley was on. So
Yeah.
I got dressed up.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, nobody's not upset at you. That was the right choice. Went with the t-shirt there. But we have the Link Soul on, and you get that vibe. It's a lifestyle rooted in golf, but it can be worn on and off the course. In and out of the ocean, they got hats, you got hoodies, shorts, pants. You get the feel, you get the vibe, dress it up, dress it down. And we're all in on Link Soul. Got to meet the people who run the company. They're basically two guys that we met, and John and Jeff got to see what they're doing, prototypes, what it's going to be like here next year. Bubba Watson's going to be probably wearing it at the Masters. We mentioned Alex Smith, the former quarterback. He's an ambassador as well. Check out Link Soul. LinkSoul.com. Let me know what you think.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. High Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments. The kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their